Hi, I'm Joseph Howard.
I'm Untitled,
And this is our Capstone.
If you're just driving down the highway or something, and you come to a corner and you see a homeless person or someone that's asking for money or food or anything, what is your first thought when you see that?
I'm kind of cut because I'm not sure if I should use the money to help them, but I don't know if they're going to use it maybe for something not good. So it's kind of a hard decision.
If you're just driving down the highway or something and you see a homeless person on the corner that needs help, that needs money or something, what is your initial thought?
I normally think that they're going to use money for like drugs or alcohol, things like that, so I'm kind of hesitant to give money, but I think it'd be a better option to give like food or drinking water if I have that like available.
When you're driving down the road and you see a homeless person on the side of the road with a sign, what is your first thought?
My initial thought is that I kind of feel sorry for them and that I'm kind of concerned about them and want to help in some way.
So if they had like a sign or something that said anything helps, need food, hungry, would you be inclined to give, or would you be scared and shy away maybe?
To be honest, it would probably be that I wouldn't want to give them any money or anything like that. I've had that thought, or even in the past have, gone around the corner and gotten a sandwich or done something like that, but I've actually seen guys that have taken the sandwich and then just thrown it behind them because that's not really what they're looking for sometimes.
Right.
So as you can see, we interviewed some students and a teacher to see their thoughts on whether or not they want to give to the homeless people, and as you can see, they're hiding away from not wanting to give them money because you never know what they could do with the money. They could go out and buy drugs or alcohol. So me and Joseph thought of an idea to make blessing bags. Blessing bags are has a bag of like items that you can put like toothbrush, toothpaste in it, snacks like peanuts or trail mix, deodorant, soap, gum, and some water bottles. And we also put a Bible verse in there just for some encouragement, inspiration for them. We thought of these items off the top of our head, just for items that we think that just could meet their immediate needs. We also contacted different homeless organizations in Knoxville, and they all told us that these would be good items to give to the homeless because they're not going to turn around and go sell them to get money to buy alcohol or drugs.
So our theme verse going into our capstone is Matthew 25:35-40. That says, "For I was hungry and you gave me food. I was thirsty and you gave me a drink. I was a stranger and you welcomed me. I was naked and you clothed me. I was sick and you visited me. I was in prison and you came to me." But then the righteous will answer him, saying, "Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or naked and clothe you? And when did we see you sick and in prison and visit you?" The king will answer to them, "Truly I say to you, as you did it to one of the least of these my brothers, you did it to me." So we took that verse kind of as a calling to go out and help the homeless, to go help the hungry, just as we were serving Jesus, as he came to serve us. So the way we look at it is one blessing bag that we made with all the stuff we put in it is $10. And so if you think about like a Starbucks coffee or something, it's $5 or $6. So if you went out and made your own blessing bag, you could put fewer things, and just giving up 1 or 2 coffees a week, that could go into blessing bags to really help someone on the streets.
Our inspiration on why we thought blessing bags would be a good thing for our capstone is that we've always had a passion to help the less fortunate. We have been on many different mission trips the past couple of years, and our hearts just grew for the less fortunate. After seeing how happy the kids were with what little they had, we wanted to help back in Knoxville.
So I went to Tijuana, Mexico twice, and Maniwaki, Canada twice, from freshman year all the way up to my junior year. And so these are 2 very different mission trips because Tijuana was a third world country where they were living on basically a landfill with homes made of garbage and just a very sad place. But they were 75% Catholic or Christian, which was a really kind of a bright, cheery mood the whole time you were there, even though it was really sad because of the poverty. It was really nice to be able to, even through the language barrier, to have translators and stuff help speak and talk about God and have those deep conversations, versus Maniwaki, which is a first world country in Canada. Obviously, here's some pictures that happening from Tijuana because we didn't have our phones at the time we were serving there. But yeah, like I was saying, Maniwaki is a first world country, and so it's very different because only 0.5% of people there are Christian or Catholic or anything. It is a very dark place. So driving into it, you could just feel the absence of our Lord and Savior there. So it was really sad, especially when you see kids like this. This is Kelly on the far left and far right at the beginning and the end of the week. And so you could just see where in the beginning she's just very uncomfortable. She didn't recognize the love that we were there. She didn't know why we were there to just love them and play with them. And so it was super sad. But at the end of the week, we got to share Jesus with them, and they ended up coming to Christ. We had 12 that came to Christ after that week that we were there. So that was amazing just to be able to share that with them.
I went to Guatemala my sophomore year of high school. I was very nervous going into this mission trip because I'd never been on one before, but I was also very anxious and excited because I've always wanted to go on one. During this mission trip, we visited 2 different villages and 1 school. One of the villages was called Chinatá. Y'all probably heard of it because the past mission trips have also gone to Chinatá. Chinatá was just about 30-45 minutes away from our hotel, so the van ride there was a little bit nervous for me, kind of building my nerves up. And once we were pulling up in our vans, my heart just broke when I saw these kids. They were so happy. They were running towards our vans, just clenching onto us. Brenda, as you can see in the left picture, the bottom left and the right, and some other pictures, me and her really just bonded throughout the week. She was younger, so I got to talk to her a little bit better than other older people because her Spanish was kind of like mine, because then I only took about 2 years of Spanish, which is good. I also bonded with another kid named Ayundar. He's the little boy in the bottom right and then bottom left and then top right. But this also just made my heart really grow for the less fortunate. And coming back, we wanted to figure out how we could help back home.
That's a video about 15 minutes away, 15-20 from where we're standing in downtown Knoxville. That was early in the morning, where a lot of the homeless people living there under the bridge were gone asking for money or just going about their day. So obviously there's a huge problem back here in Knoxville. In America, there are over 500,000 homeless people living in America, and then 3.5 million in the entire world. So if you do the math, that's the 7th just in America alone. Tennessee, there are 10,532 estimated homeless, and Knoxville holds about half of them. This is Q4 of 2017. This is a list of different reasons. This is in Knoxville, the list is, why people are homeless. And so one of the big ones, the biggest one being mental and health reasons. So these are people that aren't able to be institutionalized because of their illness isn't severe enough, but at the same time they have trouble caring for themselves. So it's just a very sad situation. These are more stats of the families and the youth and veterans and seniors, just very vulnerable, different people groups that need help. And so these blessing bags are just a way to get them going along with each and every day, just simple things such as brushing their teeth, and deodorant and water bottles and stuff, so that maybe they could go into a job interview or something clean and fresh, so that they could find a way to provide for themselves. Some of the fears and concerns we had, obviously money being a huge one, with 10,500 homeless just in Tennessee. If you calculate each bag at $10, that's $150,000 we would have to raise just to give a bag to everyone in Tennessee. So that originally was a huge issue we ran into at first, that we didn't know how we would be able to satisfy that need. Also just getting information out there about our Capstone to other people so that they could go on and possibly make their own blessing bags, and just to raise awareness about the homeless problem here in Knoxville. And then giving out homeless bags, whether that be to other people to hand out or just distributing them to the homeless, so that we could give the bags on to actually make a difference.
So we thought about a good idea is to go down to the middle school and present our Capstone to them. So we thought that could really just get the word out. So we figured out a time after talking to Mr. Davenport and Mr. Fulford. about when would be a good time to come down there and present during their chapel. So we finally figured out a date, and we went down there, and at the beginning of their chapel they did their worship, and then after their worship we went down and we did a little small presentation about what a capstone is, why we're doing our capstone, and what exactly our capstone was. So after we presented, we thought a good hands-on activity with them would be for doing a relay race. So on one side of the gym we had the items set up, and the other side we had the kids line up. We had 2 kids from each grade, so 3 lines, and so one would go down and get one item and put it in the bags and so on and so forth. And so whoever won got to win a donut. So they're very excited about that. So here is a video of them playing their game. After we presented our capstone during that chapel, we had a lot of teachers who were very interested and wanted to help out with our blessing bags. Some of those teachers were Mr. Davenport, Mr. Fulford, Miss Park, and Miss Stanfield, and Miss McLean. And so Miss Park asked me and Joseph individually if we could send her an exact list of what all we put in our blessing bags. So she sent us a video later on, about 3 weeks later, of her grandkids making some bags.
Each of you do 4 bags.
This was a big encouragement for us because when Joseph said earlier, we were very nervous about getting the word out, and so it really gave us a really big encouragement to know that we impacted Miss Park and her family.
So what will we change about our capstone? Well, initially in the winter time, 2 winters ago when we started making the blessing bags, we were putting cough drops in the bag to help anyone that had a cold or anything like that. But we realized when the summer came around, the cough drops started to melt. That would mess up the bags a little bit. It was a little bit of a mess, but that was a big learning part just for the bags themselves. In making up the bags, we would have called the homeless organizations that we did sooner, CARM and the Knoxville Office on Homelessness downtown. They just really gave us a big insight on to what to put in the bags, stuff that we hadn't thought of initially, and just ways to kind of get the word out there and just really affirming what we were doing. And that was a good inspiration for us. And also Late Start Wednesdays, what we plan on doing in the future to continue our capstone, is we want to come in early on Wednesdays and bring just some supplies to make bags so that students can come by and put the bags together themselves and be able to take and put in their car.
What have we learned? We definitely have realized how blessed we are. Of course, after our mission trips that we've been on, coming back home, we really realized how blessed we are. But after driving around Knoxville and seeing all the homeless and how many bags we ended up giving out, we really realized how big the homeless population is in Knoxville. Also, we kind of just started our capstone just making a couple bags just for me and Joseph to keep in our cars. But later on, we started making some more to give out to our family members, and they kept asking us for more bags, which was sad, but it was also good for us knowing that we were helping the homeless. Our mentors who helped us out through this capstone project was my mom, Sandy Dodson, Joseph's mom, Miss Stephanie Howard, and then some people at CARM, and then some people from the homeless center downtown. Our future plans, we plan to bring our bags to college with us in the fall. We plan to come home on weekends whenever we come home to make some more bags and also bring them to Chattanooga, because Chattanooga is kind of like Knoxville. We've been to Chattanooga a couple times and we've seen how there are, of course, homeless in Chattanooga too. I'm planning on majoring in interior architecture.
I'm planning on majoring in biology and psychology.
Any questions?